Determine the derivative of y equals x squared minus 3x minus 8 using first principles. Then determine the tangent slope at x equals negative 4. So here, first of all, our function y, we're going to be using the notation f of x here, is defined as x squared minus 3x minus 8. And to determine the derivative using the first principles means here that we're going to define the derivative in terms of the following equation. Oh, mistake. Should say the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, where h is the displacement in the x-coordinate for the second point for the secant line. So as h goes to 0, that secant line will progressively coincide with the tangent at x-coordinate x, and the slope of the secant line is approaching the slope of the tangent line. So now all we have to do is substitute in our function. So we have the limit as h goes to 0, and in the numerator we're going to have x plus h squared minus 3 times x plus h minus 8. So this entire thing is the f of x plus h. Now I'm going to put this in brackets like that. And then we're subtracting f of x, which is simply x squared minus 3x minus 8. So this expression here, that is our f of x plus h. And this expression here, this is our f of x. And in denominator, we just have h. So at this point, we're going to expand this. We have the following binomial. We're going to multiply the 3 into the bracket. So we have the limit as h goes to 0. And in the numerator now, so we're going to get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. That's the expansion of this binomial, minus 3x minus 3h minus 8. So that's the expansion of f of x plus h. Minus. And so for this trinomial here, there's nothing to expand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these brackets. When I drop these brackets, all the signs inside of those brackets will change because those brackets are preceded by a negative sign. So I'm going to get negative x squared plus 3x plus 8 divided by h. Okay. Now at this point, the following two brackets we can remove them, and there is no negative sign in front of these this pair of brackets, so nothing's going to happen to these signs here. So I'm just simply going to ignore those brackets, and I'm going to now combine like terms in the numerator. The limit as h goes to 0. So in the numerator we have x squared minus x squared, that just cancels. Then we have 2xh then we have h squared plus h squared we have negative 3x plus 3x, that cancels. And we have negative 3h. And then we have negative 8 plus 8, that just cancels. And then we just have h in the denominator. Now we see that in the numerator we have a trinomial where we can factor out a greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is going to be h. So let's do that. So we have the limit as h goes to 0. We factor out an h, and then we're left with a 2x plus h minus 3 over h. And now we can see that this h in the numerator cancels against this h in the denominator. So we're now left with the limit as h goes to 0 of 2x plus h minus 3. So at this point, we can, so h goes to 0. At this point, we can substitute in the h, so the 0 instead of the h. So we're going to get 2x plus 0 minus 3, which is the same thing as 2x minus 3. So this is our derivative of f of x, x squared minus 3x minus 8 from using first principles. Now, they want you to also determine the tangent slope at x equals negative 4. So tangent slope at x equals negative 4. So it's just a matter of substituting it in here. So we're going to say f prime of negative 4 equals 2 times negative 4 minus 3. And this equals to negative 11.